and welcome here to TalkFCB, and welcome back to the channel here today, guys, where we are celebrating on the channel yet again another victory for Barca. It is now 6 in a row in all competitions, a comfortable 3-0 home win against Mallorca, and we're going to be talking all about that right here on the channel today. But that is not all that's been going on in the world of Barca. We had a big statement from the club in terms of the Super League. We're going to be discussing some of the ramifications maybe from that, also with relation to Real Madrid as well. So all of that is going to be on the way. It's another good day though. It's another really solid win and a good weekend for Barca. So come on, guys, and let's do this. Because if we do indeed begin with that big Super League announcement from Barca, because that actually happened on match day before the game was actually on its way, the club released an official statement quite out of the blue. You know, nobody was really expecting this. Nobody in the media was really briefed that it was coming, and it was certainly straight to the point there. The statement from Barca, they basically confirmed their official withdrawal from the European Super League project. Now, let's be honest right here. I mean, that project in general, it's not really gotten off the ground, has it? You know, ever since it was very controversially announced, more and more clubs have been leaving the project. Right now, it was only really believed that Barca and Real Madrid remained, and now, well, Florentino Perez, he has been left all on his own. And I'm going to be honest with you guys, you know, on the Super League, first and foremost, I felt very uncomfortable from the very beginning here that we were such a big part of something that was ultimately just designed and fronted by Florentino Perez. This was led by him. You know, you all remember when the league was actually launched, when the ideas were broadcast, it was Florentino explaining why this needed to happen. Laporta was sort of side by side with him throughout all of that. It almost felt as though we were supporting him, which felt very wrong to me. But as we know, as time has gone on, that relationship between Laporta and Florentino Perez, it has deteriorated. Over the past few seasons, things have gotten really strained between the two of them, and I think this statement here is ultimately a culmination of all of that. And yeah, the Super League right here and now, it is well and truly finished. It never really got off the ground. It never really got the backing from the footballing world, from the fans that they desperately needed. And can I just say though, football still has a problem now. You know, a lot of people, when the Super League was announced, you know, there was ultimate scepticism, and understandably so, from everybody really regarding the project. But football still has a problem in terms here of the wealth and the backing of the Premier League. And ultimately there, in comparison to the rest of the footballing world, every single year the Premier League seems to move further and further ahead economically than the rest. And La Liga, as we know, they don't help themselves. The decisions that they make, the way the league is run, it is really hurting the ambition of these clubs, you know, the potential of so many of these teams. And that also applies to clubs around Europe as well. And it is going to be interesting, I feel, to see where we do go from here. Yeah, the Super League wasn't the answer, but what is? Because football is still trying to sort out this sort of disparity between the Premier League and the rest, and it is going to be interesting to see how the land lies in the years to come. And I thought it was very interesting that it was literally minutes after that Barca statement broke that, yeah, we saw Alvaro Arbeloa in his press conference at Real Madrid. What was the first words there that he had to come out with? What was the one thing that he needed to bring up above everything else? Of course, he comes out with a ludicrous statement about the Negreira case, about the whole situation in Spanish football, bringing up Barca's name yet again. That is the procedure at Real Madrid. If there is ever any problem, if there is ever anything negative with regard to them, they've got to bring up Barca. They've got to bring up Negreira. That's the only answer they have to everything there. And if something goes wrong for them on the pitch, which it doesn't, by the way, in terms of referees, that is something they never have to come up against, which is really ironic, given that they always like to talk about referees with regards to Barca. But yeah, it's always straight back to Negreira. Let's focus on this complete and utter non-story. And look, let me just say here, that's the only reason why Arbeloa is sitting there right now as the Real Madrid coach. He is there to repeat every single thing that Florentino Perez wants him to say. In the media, he is the yes man that's in charge right now at Madrid. That's what Florentino wants. Because I tell you right now, Arbeloa is not there for his coaching ability. Why do I know that? Because he doesn't have any. But anyway, guys, with all of that sorted out, and with us all here just taking a little bit of a deep breath, let's go back to the match in hand this weekend. Barca against Mallorca at the Camp Nou, and I thought overall, another very, very solid win. You know, Barca here have been able to put together a number of consecutive wins in all competitions here. We are still fighting on every single front, and I think if you look at the first goal here, this is Robert Lewandowski, this is what he's about, and the kind of goal that he scores here, it's your typical number 9 goal. You know, it's a bit scrappy, you know, it's not going to get on any highlight reels, it's not the most incredible goal you've ever seen, but he's in the right place at the right time to finish it off there, and those kinds of goals, they're priceless, and that's what we need. We need players who are going to consistently score those kinds of goals, and a lot of them in this Hansi Flick system. And I think right here, that was a big goal in this game, because up to that point, Barca's performance, you know, it wasn't really setting the world alight, was it? It wasn't actually the best start to the game from Barca. We actually saw Hansi Flick on the sideline getting a little bit frustrated with his players there, the way they started the game.
No, it's I was not happy with the first half, of course, and I think also the players not. So we played not on our level, was not dynamic. We're passing, we were too slow. So, but at the end we have 3 more points, 3 more goals, clean sheet, and at the end I have to say it's a good day for us.
But yeah, that goal clicked us into life, and from that moment on, we never ever looked back. But if we move on to the second goal, and we spoke about Lamine Yamal, we've spoken about the fact now that he's scoring very, very regularly, he's on a really hot run of form, this is what you want to see from him. And I thought this goal right here, absolutely spectacular. And what amazes me, the goalkeeper, he doesn't move. He never moves. He does not even flinch at this goal. He doesn't know what to do, because I actually think here the goalkeeper, looking at the way that Yamal is shaping up, the way that his body is, he thinks that he's going to whip that in the top left corner. That's what I think there. I think that Yamal is going to put that. It's the kind of finish and the kind of effort you see a lot from that kind of area. The goalkeeper thinks it's going there. He never, ever expects the finish that is coming, because Yamal there just whips it on the other side. He goes to the bottom right-hand corner. Nobody saw that coming, not even the goalkeeper. And yeah, Yamal right now, he is looking good. He is looking so confident. That was a really important second goal as well.
Of course, this is also, we have to also manage his minutes. I know at the moment he's enjoying playing football. So, but also. Also in this first half was not on the top level, I think. He keep his energy for the second half and for the shot, so for the goal, it's also okay.
But guys, the third goal, it really brought a smile to my face. You know, that is what we wanted to see this weekend. Marc Bernal, who's actually been gaining more and more prominence now over the past few weeks. We are starting to see him get more and more minutes. We know that Hansi Flick has been incredibly patient with him, and especially careful as well. That's a good thing. You know, you want to be overcautious rather than sort of taking things easy. With the kind of injury that Bernal has had, it's good here that we've been so cautious with him, but we're starting to see him more now, and he is starting to really arrive. And I thought the goal was brilliant. I thought he got an absolutely wonderful goal there. He handles himself so well inside of the box. Great little finish, and I was so happy with him, because for everything that he's been through, you know, what he's had to go through with that injury at such a young age, when he was just breaking into the first team, what a moment here now for him to score that goal for Barca at the Camp Nou. What a moment for him.
I think you could see it also from the bench. Everyone stands up and clap their hands and celebrate it. And I think for Bernie was amazing. In the Camp Nou, scored his first goal, perfect, and he did it really well. So yeah, next step for him, and to come back on the highest level.
But it doesn't even stop there, because yet again, Barca, they love to do this. They just churn out La Masia talent. You know, just when you think, oh, I've seen it all. You know, we know everybody that's coming through. We know all the quality we have. Another one pops up. We've got to talk right here about Tommy Marques, 19 years old. He came on for Fermin Lopez here in the final 7-8 minutes of this game. And he was brilliant. You know, he looked very much a part of this team. He did not look out of place at all. And apparently, Flick is a massive fan of this young man. And it almost seems as though here, with Dro going, of course, turning his back on the club, leaving to Paris Saint-Germain, even despite Flick really liking him, really wanting to trust him, Dro left. And it almost feels now like one door is closed so another can open. And up now steps a new midfielder, somebody who looks very, very suited to the way that we want to play there, looking to play in midfield, looking to be the base, the anchor of that midfield as well. But he can go forward, he can play passes, he got such a good skill set there. And Flick actually said after the game that he looks, in every way, a lot like Frankie de Jong. He could well be Frankie's younger brother. That's what Hansi Flick said after the game while he was laughing. But I think we've got to keep an eye on this young man. It's another debut here in the first team. It's another one that's going to step into the limelight. What can they do? What can they add?
Oh, this is our way. And I think it's also good for the club, for La Masia, because we respect also the work they are doing in La Masia. And when you see, so Tommy was the next player, he has a lot of potential. So this is, you can see in every training, and I was really happy that we have the option today to bring him in, to that he gets his first match for Barca. I think also for him it's a dream in Camp Nou to play his first game. But of course, this is what I like, what I love. You can also see the relationship between these players. You know, they played in La Masia. It's totally different. It's totally different, and I love really what I see.
I think it's an exciting time right now at Barca. We're winning games, we're winning well, we're doing the right things. You know, it all seems to be nice and calm on and off the pitch right now. That's what we've been looking for. We must stay on this path. We must keep improving. We are still battling and fighting on all fronts. So indeed, guys, that right there is the latest update on Barca right now, and we do have a very, very big week to come. Next week, of course, we are facing Atletico Madrid in that first leg semi-final clash live from the Metropolitano. How are you guys feeling ahead of that game? You know, what are your emotions right now? Do you have a lot of confidence heading into that game? Let's see how Atleti and Real Madrid get on in La Liga later on today. I will see you guys soon for more, but thank you indeed for the great support, and I wish you all a great weekend. But until next time, as always, Visca El Barça.